Wow, now Dave Winchester in the blue wetsuit there talking to his boy Ryan Hardy. Has to face off. Well, Mitch Rollins would like that little shot there. But it is Dave Winchester now has to face the Frenchman, PLC.
Well, PLC as a whole, Ben player would have been interesting as we see the two guys up in the first team, the two South Africans. Jared Houston, who's been on fire, up against Mark McCarthy, who's got cojones of steel.
Yes, and I can guarantee you right now, and if anybody want to place any bets with me, we will see a South African in the final.
What are the odds on that one, Manny? what are you giving?
Jared Houston in the red jersey, Mark McCarthy in the green jersey. They're friends outside of the water, but in the water, they know it's time to play the game.
Well, this heat's already on. We're a minute down, minute and a half, and we'll see. But that heat really warmed up that last heat, the last quarterfinal between Ben Player and Pierre-Louis Costes. It was a bit slow through the middle there, but the wave exchange for the last 5 minutes was intense.
Yes, incredible. Here we go. 30-minute heats. Top two waves will be scored. There is a 15-wave maximum, but nobody's really coming close to that wave max. It's all about getting those two high-scoring waves in these 30 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, I posted something on there on our IBA World Tour Facebook page. We got Bryce tuned in from Lennox Head, Josh in Perth, and look at this. We may have a first go. It is Mark McCarthy. No, takes a look, and he has given priority, I believe, to
Jared Houston.
Jared Houston now has the opportunity to catch any wave he would like, but that is the beauty of the priority system. Here we go.
Jared Houston.
Oh, my. He barely gets over that ledge and slides under the pocket. A nice deep barrel right there. Big cave of a barrel for Jared Houston. He was doing that earlier today, and here he is, not slowing down at all.
Well, that thing was just a cabin, man. He just came off the bottom with so much speed and drove straight through that thing. You could have put a small Canarian car in that one.
That's right. Here we go. One more time. Put a Canary car right this and let Jared Houston drive it right through. It is a perfect wide open barrel. Jared Houston clocking in a solid barrel ride on his first wave. Jared Houston from South Africa, still a young kid. He is hungry. He would love to have a win from Fronton.
Well, I've heard all these guys, through the years I've been involved. This guy's a future world champion. That guy's a future world champion. As we see Mark McCarthy having a scratch here. And you've seen them all, and some guys have actually done that. But I think Jared Houston looks to me to be one of those guys that can definitely win a world title within the next 2 to 3 years. He's already there. This contest, he's really impressed me. And he just drove through that barrel, not even touched by the lip. Comes out, starts the heat, and he's going to get a big score, I think, in the high sevens.
Yes, I mean, the judges have pretty much been on cue throughout the entire day. And shout out to Chico, Craig, and the rest of the boys throughout the entire year. They've been doing a great job. And you know what? We have the best bodyboarding judges. We have the best bodyboarders. We have the best waves on the IBA World Tour. And we can't thank the viewers enough for tuning in from each location that we've been to.
Well, if we want this tour to be legitimate, it has to have the best riders and it has to have the best conditions and the best locations and infrastructure, everything. So it has that. It's improved. We've had great, 2 to 3 great years on the World Tour. Is that a bag there, Manny? Selling through the lineup as Mark McCarthy has a look at this one. What is that?
Oh, is that a bat ray that just went over the falls?
I was thinking, was that the slick of Winnie's board? But his board has got a red bottom, so
yeah, we're going to find out what that
Dave
was.
Winchester did lose his board.
All non-competitors, please exit the contest area. All non-competitors, including that Stingray. Thank you.
Stingray, you reckon?
Cooper is tuned in from Victoria. Thank you for tuning in, brother. Tom in Perth. Jack is in Perth as well. And here we go. A little paddle on the outside. It is Mark McCarthy in green jersey. Is he going to drop in? Here we go.
There he goes, Mark McCarthy on this one. Nice looking wave. Comes off the bottom. What's your stall? Nice old school stall. Straight through a small barrel there. Into a roll. Nice opening wave from... No, he comes unstuck. And that's not a good position to be, Manny. That's right on that rock shelf where Mark has had a kiss on the reef. So the small ones are just as dangerous as the big ones. And we hope that he's okay.
I don't know if we can get a wide-angle shot to see where Mark McCarthy is, but first let's take you through what just happened.
This is the old Ben Severson stall right here.
Back in the day. Ben Severson would be proud.
On the rail, on the tail. Slots into position, deals with the shockwave, deals with the spit, comes out, eyes the roll. We thought he had it, Manny, and then bang, pinched. So I can't see how he's doing, but we hope he's okay.
From Richards Bay, South Africa, Mark McCarthy is on a hunt for a win here in Gran Canaria. He has walked away with a win here in the Canary Islands back in 2010 at the Fronton Pro. So he would love to put another win from the Canary Islands under his portfolio.
I'm sure he would, Manny. And his fellow compatriot out there, Jared Houston, is looking for his first win. He's got a second in Sintra in Portugal, but he's looking for his maiden IBA GSS World Tour victory. So both these guys are in it to win it. And we haven't seen Mark yet. We hope he's okay. But 5 minutes already gone this heat, and we have Jared Houston. We haven't got that score yet. We're expecting a solid 7.5 to 8s.
Yeah, we're waiting the scores to drop as well as you are down on your screen. These are 30-minute heats. We are down to the 24-minute mark. Look at this, Jared Houston paddling as hard as he can to get into this one.
He's dropping down the face on this one, eyes it up. It's a big launch section, air forward. Wow, nice move.
My. I thought his legs were just going to come over, but he pulls that off.
Well, he's got the timing, Manny, and he knows when it's going to barrel and he knows when to hit it. And that one, he just thought, look, there's nothing happening. He gunned off the bottom, straight for the lip. Textbook air forward, nice landing, and that'll back up his first scoring wave, which we're still waiting for the score on. As we see him here, he's kicking hard into that now to get over the ledge. Drives off the bottom. He's just eyeing the lip straight there, bang, up.
Perfect. Air forward right there. Lands right on top of the wave, and he makes it all the way down to the bottom of the wave. Another solid ride right there from Jared Houston. Here's another angle.
Comes down, and it's just that bottom turn. He leans his shoulder into the wave, launches. He's moving his weight on the board the whole time. He separates from the board there, so the board can land on the lip, and his body can come down after it and cushion it. So he's using his board like a safety ramp. When he comes down, the board goes down first, his body comes down second.
Jared Houston on another good run right here in semifinal number 1. The winner of this heat will advance on to the finals. It's going to be Jared Houston or Mark McCarthy, a South African for sure, will be in the final. We're still waiting for the scores to drop.
Well, they've dropped. We've got a 7.38 for the first wave for Jared Houston, and back that up with that air forward to 8.33.
Whoa,
a
pulling
combined
way ahead.
Score of 15.71, and we're only not even 10 minutes in the heat. Mark McCarthy's first wave was a 5.05, which puts him in combo.
So again, thank you all for tuning in. This is the NMD versus Fronton Pro, brought to you by U Riding, Alpha Campaign, 662 Mob, and likebodyboard.com. Make sure you go to our Facebook page and like it. Plus, we have a win button as well on our Facebook page. There you can sign up and be in a lottery to win some pretty epic prizes from our supporters here at the NMD versus Fronton Pro. Iman is tuned in from the Gold Coast, taking a look at the current situation out in the water. Semifinal number 1. Romina is in Uruguay. Hola, chica. Gabriel in Sao Paulo. Greg in Victoria. Jacob is tuned in from Newcastle, going for Winnie. Fraser's in Perth. Manuel in Lisboa. Obrigado. Lachlan in Mandurah. Luke in Gold Coast. Jackson is tuned in from, where are you? Straya, saying bring it home for South Oz and Australia.
I think that's slang for Australia, mate. Straya.
All right, there you go. So I'm learning some. Look at this monster coming in.
Mark
There's
McCarthy.
a couple of them.
Whoa.
Oh no, this is making me nervous. Mark McCarthy, we all know that he'll go for broke on anything. He knows he's behind the 8-ball in this heat. Will he go big?
Bring back the Gath helmet. He's having a kick. He's having a look. He's having a sniff.
Oh my, he's going for it. No, he pulls back, and lucky for us, he would have got into that foamy section and would have made it a little bit more difficult to come out. Look at that.
Well, now they've got the left-hander working too. He kind of looked left, didn't he? And here he goes, Jerry.
Oh.
Small wave, inside wave. What can he do on this one? And
big! Oh my!
I was about to say it was a small invert, but he got so much projection off that lip. He went a good 3-4 foot into the air.
That was incredible. Air Houston, we are clear for landing. That was a beautiful air maneuver from Jared Houston, but very interesting to see that Mark McCarthy almost tried to not block him, but...
Well, we're not sure what happened on that one because he was on, he had priority, obviously, and as we look at that great textbook the invert there from Jared Houston.
Jared Houston.
I think he's the guy now to take the it's all there. The guys have to beat this kid. Look at him. Bang, splits the legs, goes the froggies.
Perfect.
Lands him. The long locks flowing, rides it through, and he's in the driver's seat in this heat. But yeah, I think Mark looked at that. He looked at the right, got confused, looked left, looked right, went and just lost priority, and Jared came straight through and snuck that one off him.
So, ladies and gentlemen, again, the NMD versus Fronton Pro. If you don't have a Google Plus account set up yet, do it now. I'm going to have a pretty much like a post-game show on our IBA World Tour Google Plus account. I'm going to put a hangout together, which means it's a video conference with 9 of you, and we're just going to talk about what went down today. So if you don't have a Google Plus account, get it now. We're going to set up a Google Hangout at Tumismo tonight at 7:30 our time. So make sure you find out what time it is in your part of the world. Google Hangout tonight, IBA World Tour. Look for us, and I'll send you an invitation. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the semifinal number 2, about 19 minutes remaining. Luke is on the Gold Coast. Florian is also tuned in. Joel on the South Coast. Joe in Western Oz. Sean Phillips in Perth. Everybody tuning in for a spectacular end to an incredible 2012 IBA World Tour.
Well, the judges love that invert from Jared Houston, scoring it with an 8.45. So that takes him even further into the lead. Combined score of 16.78. You can see that on the screen. So, yeah, didn't expect that. But it was a perfect maneuver. And he did get flying a fair distance. So Mark's going to have to pull out what he did in the last heat. Has a look at this one. And, yeah, so you kind of get in that position, 20 minutes to go. You've got a lot of time. But Jared's got 2 of the highest scores of the day. This is potentially the highest heat score of the day. Probably only coming second at this stage to to Ben's first heat, his round 5 heat. So, yeah. Manny's having his lunch, so just excuse us. Manny's having a feed, so when you've swallowed that load of bocadillo.
Jared Houston did get a 9.5 for a super deep barrel earlier today. And there are some high scores out there ready to, be taken.
There are. We saw Pierre in that last heat get 2 high scores going on the left-hander. So, yeah, it's all happening as these guys paddle for this one. Mark McCarthy's in position, but is he a bit deep?
We'll see. My.
We know he's going to take off. He's
Oh.
not short on the Coyote stakes, and here he goes again.
Another
Goes through this barrel, big pit, comes through, makes it out with the spit. Nice wave there from Mark. Now, if all being fair and well, if Pierre was getting those high scores on the left-handers, the judges have to reward that one, Manny.
That's right. I'm guaranteed it's going to be in the 7-8 point range. And look at that wave just unload. I don't know how many tons of pressure are coming in on the shallow reef.
Big wave, 6 to 8 foot face, even more. Deals with the landing, opens up, he pulls up high, out with a spit. Here he comes, claims it for the boys back home, and off he goes. So that's put the cat amongst the pigeons. Do you like my one-liners?
Yes.
There we see it again, mate.
All right.
There he goes, dropping down the face. Bounces a bit here, deals with it. Legs come behind him, aims up high, underneath, driving through with the shoulders, deals with the shocky, comes up high. And that's what I've been harping on about the whole contest, is if you're down too low, you're going to get just corkscrewed. I spoke to Mark after that last heat, Manny, and we wondered what happened to him. We saw his board come out. Did he hit the bottom? And he said, that was my leg. Came and hit me in the back of the head. So the thing got hold of his leg, twisted it up. He got smacked on his ear by his own leg, and his hips and his back were all smashed. So he's had that. He's head-butted the reef, and he's still going hard. So he wants this.
Yeah, he wants this. But you know what? Right now it's Jared Houston who is he or Jared Houston is going to make it in the final. Who's it going to be? The score did drop.
We're going to have a South African in the final, guaranteed. So that wave for Mark McCarthy, surprising, 7.55. So a good score, but it doesn't better the 2 high-scoring waves of Jared Houston. So he still needs a 9.23 to better Jared, which is not impossible. We've seen those 2 scores, a 10 and a 9.5. Ben Player 10 for an air forward textbook, and Jared Houston for an incredible display of barrel riding, and he got a 9.5 earlier on today. So here we go. 20 minutes to go, 15 minutes to go. And we have Boite here having a look. Is he going to go or not? And he's having a dig. Nope, gives it up. So he hasn't got priority, so he's going to have a look at these inside ones because Jared has the red shirt and priority. So Mark paddling inside here to have a look. Doesn't like the look of that. So yeah, so the talk of today is Jeff Hubbard knocked out in the first quarterfinal by, it escapes me for a second. That's what, Mark McCarthy, the man here in screen in the green shirt.
It's been a pretty intense day today. I got to pace myself. Our heart rate was going out of control in the very beginning. Now we're coming down to the wire. I'm loading up right now with a little sandwich and some water just so we can have the energy to get through today. We are seeing history in the making. Out in the water, we're going to see a South African for sure make it into the final here at the NMD versus Fronton Pro. And then we're going to see the Frenchman. Is he going to stand in the way of Dave Winchester's world title campaign? We will see coming up next in the water. You're going to see the riders getting ready and prepared for the next semifinal. But first, semifinal number 1 out in the water with 15 seconds remaining.
Yeah, well, Pierre, we said before, Pierre wants to win, as we see Andy Lawrence there kicking through, photographer. So, yeah, Pierre wants to win, and Winnie wants to win. Pierre's probably thinking, gee, if I block Dave Winchester, I can never go back to Australia. But, yeah, that's the situation that's now in front of him, and Pierre's a true professional, and he's not going to give Winnie 1 inch. Winnie's at this is what he's competed for his whole life. He's built for this moment. He's got a world title within his grasp. He's got fingertips on it, but he hasn't won it yet, and he needs to win this semi-final to become the 2012 IBA World Champion.
We are in a semifinal number 1 out in the water. We have about 13 minutes, 20 seconds remaining. This is the NMD versus Fronton Pro. Mother Nature has taken a little chill pill for the last few minutes here in this semifinal number 1. But Jared Houston leading the charge right now out in the water in that first place position. Again, Vert Magazine from Portugal has dropped their latest online magazine, The Killer Issue by Vert. Put that in the search bar, and you're going to be entertained with some incredible photos and stories from our boys Tose and the crew over in Portugal. Bon dia.
Bon dia, what's that? Hello?
Good day.
Good day. Bon dia. So many languages flying around out in the competitors area, Manny. We've got French, Portuguese, Spanish, Aussie.
Arabic.
Which is its own language, okay, mate? Australia.
We got Arabic from the Morocco riders as well. Brahim Idouche, incredible rider. He did an incredible job here at the Fronton Pro. He and his brother will definitely use his placing here in the Fronton Pro to help their surf camps in Morocco. Go surfmorocco.com, and we wish you the best of luck. They've been in business for the past 3 years, so check them out if you want to check out Morocco.
Well, Brahim, the first surfer, bodyboarder, or stand-up to ever make a world tour, so a massive moment for Moroccan surfing as Jared Houston scratches over that one. So the bombs are still there. Look at this thing.
Oh, look at that thing just unloading. So much power being unleashed on the shallow reefs here at Fronton. Again, even though the tide is high, there is still only about less than 2 meters of water between. Look at that. It's just covering the entire monitor.
There's so much water sucking off the reef. It just sucks clean off the reef. The thing goes below sea level, and it just gets pulled up into those lips that we're seeing and detonated on the reef. So it's amazing to see, and it's amazing on the webcast, but if you're here in real life, it's something else. It's just the energy that's around this place because of what you're seeing is incredible. Guys, like everyone's just on edge, on the edge of their seat, shuffling around, pinching themselves, drinking Red Bull, drinking water. Yeah, I saw Sam Bennett get a case of tropical. He's got the beers out there. So you can take the boy out of Australia, but you can't take Australia out of the boy. So
look at this. We have our little Facebook appreciation. Go on there, like it, sign up for to win, some goodies from our sponsors here. The NMD versus Fronton Pro. We have NMD and versus U Riding, Alpha Campaign, 662 Mob, and Like Bodyboard. There is a win button on our Facebook page. Make sure you get on there and sign up. Look how fast it's coming across the reef right there.
Yeah, it's moving, and that's because he doesn't have priority. He's looking at the inside wave, and he's trying to get that sneaker in between the set waves and maybe get back out before Jerry Houston there and get priority for himself. It's all strategy. So with almost 10 minutes left in the heat, we know you can win it with 10 minutes to go. He needs a 9.23, which is not beyond mark. So this thing's not over yet, but we're guaranteed to have a South African in the finals. To all you boys around the world, South Africans are like Kiwis and Aussies. We don't stay home. We spread out. So we've got Hundreds Brew, Billy Thiel over there.
Yes, Hundreds Brew.
He's over there in the UK, no doubt. Got his iPhone there, watching the heat, going nuts, punching the roof. He's probably driving a car for someone. He's a bodyguard nowadays. So We've got Billy. We've got guys all around the world, and they'll be tuning in and cheering their boys on, as the Aussie boys are too.
Well, we still have Steve Action Jackson on online too. He's feeding us some pretty interesting stats, and we'll get to all of them as soon as we have time. I mean, he's been feeding them throughout the entire event. Thank you, Jackson. Hopefully, we can see more of you next year, and hopefully, I get to see you in the summer come 2013. I'm finishing up my 2013 theindoexperience.com website, and we are going to go back to Indonesia, so I'll make sure I give you a ring. And also, Cabo Freak Fest is still going down at the end of August, or in August, so stay tuned for that, as well as Mazatlan Freak Fest is going to be a new one. And I'm sure all my boys in Mazatlan are watching, but if I know them, they're probably hammered right now from the Pacificos. They're dropping down their throats. So Manny, Carlos, Cesar, Pollo, shout out to everybody in Mexico and everybody around the world for tuning in for the NMD versus Fronton Pro. Manny V here with Nick Mesritz, a.k.a. Mez, bodyboard shaper to the pros. What up, people? We got a little bit more mellow.
Mellow what?
We got a little bit more mellow from previous heats, only because there was a ton of action, nonstop. But now Mother Nature is taking a little relaxation pill. So stay tuned. We're going to finish off today's action with a new world champion and a winner for the Fronton Pro. And I can't wait.
I can't wait either, Manny. And it's amazing that this contest, 2 years in a row, we've just had pumping waves. And that's why I like to be involved with it. What a perfect place to show that, I'm supporting, or my brand's supporting this tour, because it's a great spectator thing. The web feed's okay. We have a few problems here and there, but compared to what it used to be, we used to have a VHS video would come out 6 months after the fact and no one would get to see it. So
live.
This is live, and it's going to get better as technology improves. Imagine what's going to happen in the next 2 to 3 years. So
I would love to see, cameras on the riders, audio, microphones on the riders, just so we can hear it and see it all. I'm hoping that'll happen in the next couple of years. We'll see.
Well, yeah, I mean, Murray Bell, who was instrumental in getting this thing up to the level that it's at now behind the scenes. Long-time bodybuilder from Cronulla. He's now one of Australia's top graphic designers, graphic artists. And he was trying to get me to make a camera within a stringer, like the stunt cam that you have, stump cam, which is a cricket camera they have in cricket. And he was trying to use like prisms to get the thing happening, and it was just, the hard part was transmitting the signal back to the cameras, and two was how many guys want 35 kilos of steel on their board. So a little way off that yet, but yeah, I mean, some of these angles the guys are getting, we saw a helicopter buzzing around today.
Yeah, the helicam.
It had 4 propellers, a camera set up, and that's what's going to happen. We're going to have footage from a helicam or 2 helicams in years to come.
It's happening now, ladies and gentlemen. We had the helicam out there, and we will have that footage from that in our highlight reel. Look at this. Mark McCarthy on the inside. Drops in on this one. He is going around the section for a big move. Look at that big reverse. Ooh. Oh, cannot pull it off. He is in the part of the zone you do not want to be. If a set rolls in, he will get his ringer rung. You don't want to be in that section right there. That is the impact zone. Let's take another look at what happened.
Well, he still didn't, Jerry's still in priority, so he had to go for this. So he's going for a big backflip. Oh, sorry, that would be air reverse. On that wave there, kind of tweaked it a bit, but unfortunately lands on the back of the wave. So 6 minutes to go, he has to pull something out, and you can score high on those inside waves. We saw Jared Houston get an 8.45 on a smaller wave. Nice invert, great projection, and he is dominating this heat with a combined score of 16.78. So Manny, the boys in Mexico drinking Pacifico, that's my favorite drop if I'm in the States or Mexico. There's a few good ones there, but I'm sure the boys around the world are drinking beers, and we'd like to see on the Facebook page what you guys are drinking. Let us know what you're doing. I know the Kiwi boys will be smacking down the
let me put that on there right now.
Pures, and then we've got the Aussies with their Tuis or their VBs or their little creatures. Lion, I think they drink that in South Africa, as we see a set just coming through and doing its thing on the reef here at Fronton. So we're not condoning drinking. If you're old enough to drink, drink wisely, drink responsibly.
Responsibly, yes.
But nothing like watching the boys having a couple of quiet ales and the pleasure of your own home. So that's what's amazing about this tour. We can watch this stuff live, and The world is changing. We know that now everyone's rocking iPhones and Samsung Galaxies and pads and tabs and all sorts of stuff. So I couldn't even operate this iPad we've got right here, so that's showing my age. But hey,
4 minutes, 45 seconds remaining out in the water. Semifinal number 1. We have Jared Houston in the red jersey, currently leading the charge with an 8.33 and an 8.45. Mark McCarthy, fellow South African in the green jersey, is only 9.23 points away from getting that first place spot. And I say only because it is totally possible out here.
well, we saw Dave Winchester. He needed a 7, a 6, whatever it was, and he got it, with 20 seconds to go. So it's not impossible. It can happen. And this is actually, like, as we count down, is 4 minutes till the big one. 4 minutes till we see Dave Winchester up against Pierre-Louis Costes, your current and reigning world champion, up against what potentially is a new world champion.
Mark McCarthy off the bottom. Oh my! He pulls it around.
No.
Oh, can he land it? That was huge. Mark McCarthy with one of the biggest air reverse maneuvers we've seen of today. Oh my! He was clearly 10 feet above the water. If he would have pulled that off, that would have been amazing. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. He has some time to get back out there. If he would have pulled that off, that would totally put him back in contention. Look at this.
Jams off the bottom. This hits this thing. Look at the projection he gets, Manny. He's
Look
way
at
up there,
that. Look at
leaning
Jared in the
forward,
back watching.
and he's bringing his legs down to soften that landing. And he dangles them there, and he's in the pit. He's in the barrel, and then he just gets swamped. That was pretty close, and I'd hate to think, but it'd be interesting to see what he would have got scored with that wave.
That was massive, ladies and gentlemen. And if he would have pulled that off, definitely would have been in that 8, 9 point range. But unfortunately, he could not pull his board around quick enough, and the whitewash just took over.
Well, I think we could hear Richards Bay from here. Hear the boys yelling back in Richards Bay. But he's not going to go out without guessing without trying. And he went hard, and that would have changed things. 9.23, I'm not sure, but yeah, interesting. 2.5 minutes to go, and I'm sure Jerry Houston was looking back over his shoulder as Mark's green slick was just lighting up the skies.
Yes.
And he'd be saying, "Brew, you should have seen that."
Oh, that was massive with a capital M. Oh, doctor. Woo!
Well, 2 minutes to go here, and Jerry Houston still has priority. There's sets out there, but whether or not they're going to come through in the right direction with the right grooming and do the right thing. But still, I mean, the set wave, Jerry's in position. But Mark can take off, and we know he's not going to hold back. 2 minutes to go. We'll see what happens. The boys having a chat out there. I can see smiles. It's great to see.
Just a touch back really quick. If you want to know what I got in store for next year, I do have my tours. I do got my photo stuff going. Go over to Manny V Productions on the Facebook page and like that page, and I'll update you with everything what's going on for next year.
Mark,
and here we go. Mark McCarthy on another medium-sized wave. He is eyeing up that section, comes around, big bottom turn, and goes for it again, but having a little trouble bringing that thing around. I think that was his last-ditch effort, and that might not be enough. Probably won't be enough. He was looking for a 9.23, so now he's calmly, patiently paddling back out. He knows that may be the end of the road for Mark.
We'll see it here. We know he's going for the air reverse. He thinks that's the move for him to get that 9.23, and he gets good extension, but it wasn't the same wave as the other ones. He sticks to landing, but he's only halfway through that rotation, so that won't be the 9.23 as the score drops now.
So Jared Houston, it looks like maybe marching into the final. The first finalist here at the NMD versus Fronton Pro.
And here goes Jerry. He's going to put an exclamation point on this one as he comes down.
Oh, look at that.
Just drive straight through it.
He's not done. Look at this section.
Invert. Boom.
Are you kidding me?
Well,
that was incredible. Jared Houston putting a little icing on the top.
Well, yeah, it was just like he just came off the bottom, didn't even adjust his line, just pulled straight into that cavern, drove through it, came out. We could tell the invert was coming. Didn't stick to landing. It didn't care. He's won the heat. He's through to the final. And will we see his maiden tour victory?
Oh, that was incredible. Jared Houston again putting a little icing on top of the cake with this wave right here. And it is a solid, deep barrel right there. Perfect line, keeping his eye on the exit, comes out. He knows he has time, and he didn't have to do this, but he goes for a
Watch
big
him bounce. Boom.
boom, lands it.
He lands and bailed. So they
I
might
think
score
they
this
will.
quite high.
They will give that a land. He did land it. Let's take another
A
angle right here.
9.95, Manny, as he drives through this cabin. And like I said, he didn't even adjust his line. He just pulled in, pulled up high, eyes the section, off that bottom rail there, bang. Full extension, lands, and pulls straight out.
Oh, that's right. A 9.95 for Jared Houston on that wave. So close to a perfect 10, but one of the judges saw it come in at a 9.8, which is still right up there. If Jared Houston can